If you were just going to rank NBA teams based on the next 3 years, the 3-year outlook, who will be number 1 and who will be number 30? We're figuring that out today because that's exactly what the NBA insiders did over on ESPN. In this one, they considered the players that are on the roster, the amount of money they have to spend, the draft assets that they have, the market that they're in, and then the management, the good GMs and scouts across the league. And I'm excited to see where everyone falls. This video is brought to you by Cash App. And when I tell you about the Cash App card, here's a video of me using the Cash App personalization. The Cash App card is a debit card attached to your Cash App balance. As you can see, you can pick from a bunch of different colors. You can customize to fit your style and make it unique just for you, like I did. But it's not just about the cool personalization aspect of having the card. You also get exclusive card holder discounts on things like coffee, food delivery, video games, and more. If you like to get out and have some fun with some music, Cash App is also partnered with some of the best artist tours out there, like a Kendrick Lamar, SZA, Sabrina Carpenter, Drake, Chappell Roan, the list goes on and on. And with that, Cash App card owners get exclusive pre-sale before everybody else gets an opportunity to get the tickets. But the thing that matters to me the most is the no hidden fees, the top of the line security, the no fee overdraft coverage. If you direct deposit at least $300 in paychecks a month, you unlock up to $200 in free overdraft coverage. And if you overdraft unexpectedly, there's no hidden fee to worry about. For limited time only, new Cash App customers can earn $10 if they use code CASHIN10 in their profile at sign up and send $5 to a friend within 14 days. Terms apply. So shout out again to Cash App for sponsoring this video. I feel like the top, let's say 3 teams should be pretty easy. I think OKC should be number 1. I feel like the Rockets should be somewhere in that top 3. Actually, I don't know who else would be in there. Maybe the Cavs? Let's find out. Again, these are from the NBA Insider, so it's not one specific person. They had a bunch of different people, including Kevin Pelton and Bobby Marks and Tim Bontemps, give their examples or reasons why they have certain things. Where will the Spurs find themselves? That's a good question because Wembanyama by himself might be good enough for top 5. All right, let's see. We got number 1 on the list should be, of course, the Oklahoma City Thunder. They got number 1 in players. Makes sense. They got the MVP of the league, an All-NBA and All-Defensive player in J-Dub, and another guy in Chet Holmgren who should make an All-Defensive team if he stays healthy. Not to mention some of the dogs they got on defense with a Caruso or Dort. Like, this team should be good for the next 3 seasons and maybe have the opportunity to repeat. I know we haven't had a repeat champion over the last 8 or so years. I think OKC definitely has a chance. The money aspect is at 28th. Because, yeah, that makes sense. Shea is on the max. They did just give Chet and Dub both max extensions. We know that Isaiah Hartenstein basically got like a 1-year left table timetable with the team. So the money is a bit close, but like the team is so young that they can make it work. And then the market is small, but at the end of the day, that don't matter that much. Number 2 on the list, they do have the Houston Rockets, so I was right about that. They got number 2 in players over the next 3 seasons, number 21 in money, 5 in draft capital, number 8 in market, and 4 in management. I do think that if you think about when the James Harden trade happened and the assets or lack of assets they got for the James Harden trade, it's, I can't even really say lack of assets with that trade. I know that they didn't get like no real in the door talent, but like, they got some picks that end up top 5 and then, were able to parlay one of those picks to go get other picks. So I can't say that was a super awful trade, but like, considering, one of the 2 greatest players in franchise history, still really good at what he does, I feel like that could have been more. But the fact that they've been able to take that and still be at this point where like a lot of people look at them as contenders is pretty dope. Next, we got the Knicks. Okay, so I was wondering what that next team is going to be, and it is the Knicks. So the Cavs got to be no further than number 4. They got number 5 in players, number 29 in money. Yeah, this is a second April team. Number 27 in draft capital. Yeah, they gave a lot of it to get Mikal Bridges on the team. Number 2 in market and number 9 in management. Leon Rose has definitely come in and changed some things. Earlier in my lifetime as an NBA fan, the New York Knicks were one of the laughingstocks in basketball. They never can get it right. They got one of the owners that want to put his foot in the door and put a stamp on the team when he didn't really need to do that. They let Leon Rose cook up. Jalen Brunson is one of the best stars in ball, and they've put together a good team around them, and they should be a contender this season. Number 4, okay, so yes, we do get the Cavs here. All right, cool. No disrespect to the Cavs. They're here. Number 3 in players. Number 30 in money. Yeah, Yeah, Evan Mobley just got the money. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Number 25 in draft assets, number 24 in market, number 6 in management. But it really is about the players. Again, over the next 3 years, you would assume, I know progression is never really linear or is rarely linear, but you would assume that Evan Mobley continues to get better. You assume that a lot of guys on the roster, have more cohesion and so on. They could get out of that second round. This got to be the year, right? It's got to be the year. Number 5, they got Clippers, number 5. Number 12 in players. That seems kind of low, but it's again 3-year outlook. 3-year outlook. Some of the people on that roster not even gonna be in the league in 3 years. Shout out to my goat behind me, Chris Paul. He's pretty much done. Money number 5. Okay, that's news to me. Let's see exactly what the second version boosts flexibility and reshape the roster starting in 2027. The only center Zubac's on a guaranteed contract. LA could boast up to $140 million in cap space that summer. Wow. Okay. You learn something new every single day. So yeah, the money being number 5 makes sense. Draft capital is not very high, especially if this investigation with Kawhi, and that draft capital might drop a little bit more. We know what the market is in LA. And then, yeah, their management group, the fact that they continue to make the playoffs time and time again under the Chris Paul era, the no Chris Paul era to, the Kawhi Paul George era. And then now in this era was Kawhi James Harden the Zoo. And then, yeah, when Kawhi James Harden is done in just the Zoo era, they're probably going to be a playoff team. That's just who they are. And that's good management group. Number 6, the Golden State Warriors. I'm genuinely surprised to see the Warriors this high. They got number 10 in players, number 18 in money. I know a lot of these contracts come off the book in 2027. Draft, they're number 17. Market is 4, and management is 5. Can I ask you, this is a genuine question. Does Mike Dunleavy Jr. deserve to have management be at 5? Like, have we been super impressed since Mike Dunleavy has taken over the Warriors? You let me know. I know why I sit here. I can't say that he's number 5. I mean, I guess it's more like an umbrella thing. It's not necessarily about the singular GM, but it's not like they've drafted amazingly over the last decade or so. Like, they got some hits. Don't get me wrong. They got some hits, but their management being 5, that's pretty high. I'm not saying it should be 30 now, but that seems pretty high. Next, we got the Orlando Magic. Shout out to the Magic. They're number 6 in players, number 27 in money. Yeah, Franz, Paolo, Desmond Bane, all on really big contracts. Jalen Suggs signed what was either a max extension or close to a max extension. I don't remember. So the money is not really there. They gave up a lot of draft capital to go get Desmond Bane. The market is right in the middle, and then the management is at 13. Okay. I'm not mad at it. It's really about the players got them this high because you think about the 3-year outlook, Paolo Banchero's progression, Franz Wagner looked really good in Eurobasket. Can some of that continue to translate to his NBA? And then Desmond Bane's kind of like a perfect fit alongside those 2 big wings that like to get to the basket. So I understand the players carrying heavily here. I want to see that center position get bulked up. Maybe that is Wendell Carter having a bounce back season after he wasn't very good last season. But I feel like that center position is the last piece of the puzzle for them, and I don't know who it is. Next, we got the LA Lakers, who are 9th in players. Are we assuming LeBron is playing for the next 3 seasons? Is it crazy to assume anything else, considering what LeBron has been doing for the last 23 years? The money is number 6, and that's one of the reasons why they hadn't done any big-time things around Luka Doncic, because they are also a team that's going to have a crazy amount of money to spend in 2027 if everything goes well. 23 in draft capital, number 1 in market, and number 17 in management. I've been very critical over Rob Pelinka since 2021. You take some of that back because he got handed Luka Doncic, but now it's like, okay, now we got Luka Doncic. What else can we really do? I do think that's 17. I'm trying to figure out if I like that range for the Rob Pelinka team over there. I don't know yet. I got to see what the other teams land. Number 9 is the Denver Nuggets, where they got number 4 in players, number 25 in money, number 29 in draft capital, because they did give up a 2031 to go get Cam Johnson. So they're so far down the line in draft capital, and I can't even say they're wrong on that. When you got the best player in the world, you got to do what you got to do to put the best team around them. Market is 18 and management is 21. Management being 21 is pretty interesting because they basically got new management in there over the last season when they fired their guys. So I guess we don't really know too much. I know that they kind of promoted within. I still don't think they have a GM right now. I think they just have 2 people in different spots that are working together as the GM. I just don't know how often we see that happen, and it's a little bit scary. But also front office titles feel like, who is the president of basketball operations? Who is the GM? I don't know. I don't know, but they are number 9. Number 10, this is where we find the Spurs with 8 in players. They have 14 in money, 11 in draft. They are 16 in market and 15 in management. I actually thought the draft would be a little bit higher. They do have an extra asset that they brought in for the Rob Dillingham trade. I think they might. I don't know if they've used all of their Atlanta Hawks picks from the original DeJounte Murray trade. The players being 8 makes sense, though. Wembanyama's carrying a lot of that. And again, if we're doing a 3-year timeline, we're hoping that Stephon Castle continues to get better. You're hoping that, Dylan Harper, where you drafted him, he's really the real deal. And the De'Aaron Fox just signed his extension as well. So, yeah, the players, over the next 3 seasons, makes sense. Next, we got the Wolves, where they have players at 7, money at 26, draft at 28, market at 30. I thought that the Memphis Grizzlies were a smaller market than Minnesota. I'm tripping, I guess. Management at 10. Hey, they have Anthony Edwards. Is that enough? Over the next 3 seasons? Can you say confidently anybody outside of Anthony Edwards and maybe Jaden McDaniels is on the team in 3 years? Can you say that confidently? Do you believe, maybe Naz Reid, shout out Naz Reid. Can you say that you believe Rudy Gobert is going to be there, or Julius Randle for sure is going to be there, or Dante DiVincenzo, or Mike Conley? It really is kind of like the Anthony Edwards thing. And I trust it. I'm sorry, I trust it. Number 12 is the Atlanta Hawks. Wow, they wanted the biggest jumps. They were 23 last season, or I don't know, in the last ranking. They're 14 in players. They're 9 in money. So interesting. Okay, they're 7 in draft. They're 11 in market and 11th in management. Where's that money coming from? Am I bugging? I guess Trae Young has not signed an extension. Porzingis is on the last year of his deal. And those are the bigger contracts. I mean, Jalen Johnson signed an extension, but that's not a huge contract. So I guess that makes sense. The drafting is where it gets real interesting, because I'm going to keep talking about it until they prove me wrong. The trade that they made on draft night, the Derek Queen for the best of the Bucks/Pelicans pick, might be the best traded asset this offseason. But who knows? Maybe the Pelicans surprise. Maybe they don't. But that pick looks really juicy, and the Atlanta Hawks are the team that has that pick right now. The Boston Celtics still high on this list. They were previously ranked number 2, and obviously we know second apron hit them, and they had to gut house of Drew Holiday, of Al Horford, of Porzingis. It's still 13 in players, 12 in money, 18 in draft, 9 in market, and 8 in management. I've said this before on the podcast that I think this is one of the most interesting, or could be one of the more impactful non-championship seasons in Boston Celtics history. This is a time where they have their own first-round pick, and their best player on the team is out for the entire year with an Achilles injury. So this could be a year, if they want to play it this way, where they bridge the gap, retain their own first-round pick. It ends up being, let's say, top 10, because they are bad. I'm not saying that they will be bad, but this is like one of the different crossroads they could go. They're bad this season. They retain a top 10 pick, get a little bit of draft luck, and just like that, you're looking at a Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Darren Peterson team. Or just another top 10 pick that you can help build around with the Jays. I think that's an interesting way to kind of think about it. It is a risky way to think about it, but that's the way I would try to run it. I ain't gonna lie, I like to take that risk. 14, Miami Heat. 18 in players, 10 in money, 19 in draft, 5th in market, 3 in management. Are we just giving... I just can't say that I've been extremely impressed with the management group of the Miami Heat over the last 4 to 5 seasons, let's say. Kenny, in the last 5 seasons, they made 2 championships, 2020 and then the one against the Nuggets. I know they did. And yet, I still don't know if I feel like they're a top 3 management group in basketball. Am I bugging? I don't know. I don't know. Historically, don't get me wrong, Pat Riley been the king of kings. But again, if we're just looking at, if his name was not Pat Riley and his name was Joe Schmo, and he did the exact same moves over the last 3 seasons, do you believe that we would say that that's a top 3 management group? The resume is the resume, and I'm not taking none of that away. That man is one of the most winningest GMs, coaches. I would never do that. But again, just based on the last couple years, his name is not Pat Riley. His name is Kenny Beecham. Guess who getting fired? Kenny Beecham. You know what I'm saying? Next, we got the Indiana Pacers coming off 2 conference finals appearances, 1 NBA championship appearance. They got him at number 15. I know this year is like a gap year. Shout out to Tyrese Halliburton. Get well soon. They're 20th in money, 14th in draft, which I think that might mean, if they're in this range of draft, I think that might just mean that they have pretty much all of their own first round picks. I could be mistaken there though. 22 in market, 7th in management. See, I think that the Pacer management group is underrated. For them to be in the 22nd market and has not missed the playoffs or been a playoff team for almost every year over the last 20 years, and now has the NBA Finals appearance and a conference Finals appearance to say that like there's some real stuff going on here. Think about all of the smaller trades they've done, and you like, oh shit, they really helped this team. The drafting of the Nimhar, the trade of Aaron Nesmith, that people meme the moment they did it, where it was Malcolm Brogdon going to the Celtics for nothing. Like they've done really good shit. You know, like I Next, we got the Dallas Mavericks. They were number 5 recently, but you know they did some stuff. Obviously, it's still a really interesting team, though, even without Luka being there. 11th in players, 24th in money, 21st in draft capital, 10th in market, 20th in management. Nico. I wonder if I could go back and read the last time they did this, where they were number 5. Was Nico Harrison's management group higher than 20? I feel like they had to be top 10. I guess it depends on when you did it. Because the Daniel Gafford trade was really good. The PJ Washington trade was really good. And then they made the finals. And you take all of that resume away, like, because one major mistake. But it's still a really interesting roster if Kyrie Irving can come back at some point. But, like, I just don't know. ACL injuries, I never expect the person coming back from an ACL injury to be really good immediately. I would expect, even if Kyrie came back in March of this season, I don't expect to see normal Kyrie to the beginning of next season. That's just my opinion. I just don't think ACL injuries are something you just come back from. Like, hey, I'm back to average of 26 on 50, 40, 90. Like, that's hard. That's really hard to do. Memphis Grizzlies are 17. They are 16 in players, 17 in money, 8 in draft, 23 in market. Oh, my market skills all messed up. Why did I think that this was the smallest market in the league? They got it at 23. How are they gauging smallest market in the league? Is it literally just like, I don't know. Management at 14. This is a team I don't really have many opinions about right now. So we move. The Detroit Pistons are next, where they have 17 in players, 8 in money, 13 in draft, 25th in market, and 18 in management. I guess this number of players should go up, or you hope to it to go up, if one of the other guys, Asar or Duran or Ivy or Ron Holland for that matter, if one of them takes a big jump this season, because right now it is Cade Cunningham and really intriguing young players. You want one of them to be like, oh, I'm the guy next to Cade. I'm the next most important player. And I think out of all of them, if I were going to take a guess who it's going to be, I think all of us believe in Asar Thompson. Maybe it's him. I hope it's him. But you want like just one other guy. You're like, that guy's a future all-star. I don't think you have that on the roster right now, at least based on what we've seen so far. But I think Asar Thompson is one of those guys that, like, you remember he missed a lot of the last 2 seasons with a blood clot issue. With that, you can't even work out. You can't even be in the gym. You know, as sometimes a player has an injury, but he's still getting up shots. You can't really do that with his ailment that he had. So he's basically half a year or 8 months behind everybody else in his draft class as far as how much working out he's been able to do. And I trust it. The 76ers are at 19. They were previously number 4. Dang, dude. Oh, also, big jump up from the Detroit Pistons. You got to respect it. They were number 4. They're 19 in players, 23 in money, 14 in draft, 14 in market, and then management is 16. Yeah, that's a tough fall off, man. I did see the pictures of Joel Embiid. He looks really good. I don't know how many times I'm going to fall for that. Not just specifically with Joel Embiid, but I am a guy that notoriously will fall for a good offseason workout clip. I ain't going to lie. And I think I might be doing it again with JoJo. I think they could be higher. They have a really intriguing young core with a Maxey, a McCain, a Edgecombe, and Grimes when he eventually comes back to the roster. All of those guys play very similar positions. I recognize that. But I feel like over the next 3 seasons, this could be a little bit higher. Could be. The Toronto Raptors are number 20. They pretty much stayed the same. They were 22 last season. They were 21st in players, 19 in money, 12th in draft, 13th in market, and 24th in management. I wonder how much of that management is because, like, Masai's gone, and it's like Bobby Webster who got promoted from within. It's a really interesting team. I think that it's just one of those teams that there's so many, I guess, questions with how every piece fits together to make the perfect puzzle. I mentioned this on the show. We don't really know much. We haven't seen the best out of Darko Rajakovic's system because I feel like it's very rare that he's been able to have a fully healthy roster. And I think that going into next season, that everybody that from the Pirtles to the Ingrams to the Barretts to the Barneses and Quicklets, I think they're all going to be healthy for like the first time ever. So I'm curious to see what that looks like. The Bucks, yeah. The Bucks over the next 3 years, man, it's going to be rough. As long as Giannis is there, we feel good. But over the next 3 years, can we say that with 100% certainty? I don't know. They're 20th in players, 16 in money, 26 in draft. Damn, 17 in market, and then 19 in management. Hey, man, Giannis is on the roster right now. Trailblazers over the, again, we're talking about the next 3 seasons. They're 22nd in player, 11th in money, 10th in draft, 20th in market, and 26th in management. As we get to these last couple, I just don't know how much I really have to say. They were 30th, so what a big jump for the Blazers. I really believe in Donovan Clingan as a defensive anchor at this level of basketball. I can't wait to see him play 30 minutes a game, hopefully one day. Scoot Henderson has a lot left on his plate that he needs to get out there and get after. I think it's going to be an interesting team because last year, the last couple months, and it's tough to really gauge a team based on March. And after that, the defense looked really good. And you think about Denny, you think about Tumani and Donovan Clingan. That defense should stay, especially considering their coach. Chauncey is one of them ones when it comes to defense, bro. He cares about defense more than any. He'd be okay if his team went 0 of 30 if they prevented the other team from going 1 of 30. You know what I mean? Like that defense is number one priority for him. He don't give a damn if the lineup that he's trotting out can't score. But if they can defend, he think he got a chance. Hey, Charlotte Hornets, number 23. They're 25th in players. I'm realizing I haven't seen my Bulls yet. What's the dealio? They're 7th in money. They're 4th in draft capital. They're 21st in market, 22 in management. I like their young core. Is that crazy? I like Brandon Miller. I like Conca. Okay, that might be it. Damn. Okay, maybe I can't say I like their young core if it's only 2 out of the 8 players. But does LaMelo still count as young core? You've been in the league since 2020. Yeah, he still counts. So LaMelo too. I don't have an opinion about some of these other guys yet. Like Tajon Salon. It's too early, but Utah Jazz is 24. They're 27 to players, 3 in money, 3 in draft. This is something, ain't it? They're higher than the Bulls? Damn, bro. They're higher than the Bulls? Damn, bro. They're higher than the Bulls? Bro, we done fell off. This is my mind. I think the Bulls should be higher in players. Not by a lot. Not by a lot. We should be pretty high in money considering we're going to have like $90 million in cap space next season. We should be good in draft capital. We're not going to be great in draft capital because we didn't pull off a Rigo Bear and Donovan Mitchell trade. So we're not going to be top 3. We're going to be high in market. Management, we're probably dead last. Management is killing us. I already know. Management is killing us. We're going to be dead ass last in management. Oh my God. No, we're not. Because the Sacramento Kings are dead ass last in management. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're going to be 29th. We're going to be 29th in management. Washington Wizards, 29th in players, 2nd in money, 6th in draft, 19 in market, 23 in management. Oh, are we going to be 30th on this list? Brooklyn Nets are higher than us. Yeah, money, they got it. Draft capital, they got it from the Mikal Bridges trade and other trades. Kevin Durant trade. You know, it's a lot of trades going on. 7th in market, 30th in players. There's not a single player on that team that you 100% feel confident was going to be there in 3 years. You hope that it's Cam. You hope that it's Clax. But, like, you can't say that. So you wouldn't bet your house on it, would you? If you bet your house, I mean, they would gave him a 3-year deal instead of a qualifying offer if we knew he was going to be there in 3 years. Damn, we're going to be dead last. Oh, we're 28th. Let's go. The Jazz have a better roster than us? They got the Jazz a spot above us. Okay. We're foreign money. Yeah. Talk about that money that we got to spend that we not going to spend on good players. 8th in draft. 12th in market. Okay, now I'm confused. Okay, I got 27th in management. The Pelicans are beneath us. Wow, they fell, bro. Wow, they fell from 16 to 29. 24th in players. I think they deserve to be a little bit higher in players, but maybe I'm a little biased towards Trey Murphy III and Zion. Money is 15. Draft is 20. They did give up that pick. I can't look past that pick. They're 28th in market and 29th in management. And then lastly, the Phoenix Suns, who are 30th in draft, 22 in money, 26 in players. They got a market. How is market being determined here? Because I read up top, it don't tell you. It just says to determine the rankings, we asked these guys to rank them on the 5 categories, rank them relative to the rest of the league. Because they can't be ranking based on market size, right? So what is market being? Because Bulls are 3 in market. Whatever. That was a fun article. I really did it to see where the Bulls are gonna land, and I'm upset. I'm not saying that they're wrong. I'm just upset.